Hey, what's up? It's absolutely not for the meek. Back once again with my co-host, and it is Sunday, February 25th, 2024, and had to come back at you once again. It's 6:39 p.m. Central Time, and you see the title, you see the banner there. Two moms regret getting piped by BBC on 304 Girls Trip. I'm coming with that right after this. All right, let's go into Melanie King.
Now, a new travel warning. Two women were drugged and assaulted while on vacation in the Bahamas, unaware the State Department had issued a travel advisory in the area. Eva Pilgrim has the story. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, George. These two moms say they thought they were doing all the right things to be safe. They were in a pair. They didn't take drinks from strangers. They weren't drinking in excess. But this morning, they say their drinks were drugged at a Bahamian resort and they were attacked. The FBI now investigating. Amber Shearer and Dengalia Dobson were on their first kids-free vacation on board a Carnival cruise.
We've been best friends for over 20 years, and we decided we were going to make this our girls' trip.
On the last day of their trip, they stopped at a local resort on Grand Bahama Island, a resort they say the cruise ship recommended. Once there, the mothers claim they were offered a 2-for-1 drink, which they accepted, but immediately fell ill.
After the first drink, we had to get out of the ocean because we noticed that it was just hitting so hard. I just felt so out of it.
Shearer and Dobson say they lost consciousness and allege that after drinking the drugged cocktails, members of the resort staff sexually assaulted them.
I vaguely remember glimpses of his face. I don't remember all of it. I don't remember everything, but I remembered enough of that he was a staff worker and he had a goatee and he was a local. But the resort security were able to go pull the footage and identify them right then and there.
They say there were bruises on their legs and that they tested positive for various drugs. The Royal Bahamas Police posting on Facebook confirming 2 men were arrested for sexual assault of 2 women and that an investigation is underway. Shearer and Dobson say that's not enough. They're back in the U.S. demanding justice. The State Department issued a level 2 travel advisory for the Bahamas in late January due to an increase in homicides and sexual violence.
It's extremely important if you're going to go overseas.
Also have an
2 guests on Carnival Elation reported to Bahamian police that they were sexually assaulted at a local beach. Considering that now, their advice for other women, stick to groups of 4 or more when traveling.
Well, hey there, GMA.
also have an
Pervert. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on, Absolute. You need more facts on the matter. You need more facts. No, get more facts. Get more facts of the situation. Let's go in more.
an obligation to make sure that the areas that they're recommending to passengers, to tourists, are safe.
Carnival due to an increase in homicides and sexual violence.
Hey guys, it's your girl Melanie, and it looks like there's 2 moms who went on a girls' trip alone without their husbands or children. And somehow it turned into 2 random staffers at a resort while they're on a cruise decide to just drug them down and them
Pipe them down.
randomly. What is the world coming to? Men everywhere are just so dangerous. But
All I can do
but
right now is
what's
put
that
on a
you
brave
say?
face and go out
What's
there.
that you say, Bob? Oh, we have another report coming in.
This is crazy.
Yes.
I made a video last night about these 2 moms from Kentucky who were on a Carnival cruise and made a stop at Grand Bahama. And apparently 2 of the staff members there slipped some DRUGs into their drinks and then SA'd them. Well, the resort and the cruise line is saying that their story is completely wrong and that they made this whole thing up. So the resort is called Pirates Cove, and they have 16 cameras around the resort, and it basically captured everything. And this account on the Book of Faces has a video that's just full of information. But basically, they said upon further review of their surveillance videos, the allegations made on site and in subsequent social media posts and news stories conflict with what the time-stamped surveillance videos contain. As such, the lengthy videos of all concerned have been handed over to the local police and will be shared with our industry partners as needed. And then the resort goes on to say that the two guys were terminated, but because they violated the zero tolerance policy. So
Yeah. Doesn't this happen all the time? Doesn't this happen all the time? Always false accusations? All the time. Why? But let me tell you something. This was sent to me by a friend. You know him. He's been on the show, The Agitator. And he said, why would they do that? I'm like, damn, man, you trying to wrap your mind around idiocy? Stupidity? I mean, you gotta be kidding me. You know, they went out there because they're
You are a pervert.
that's what they are. They're perverts. They wanted to get their groove on, Stella get their groove on, whatever. And they got what they wanted, and then they're so dysfunctional, they made false accusations. Let's go in.
Just so you know, these guys were not terminated because they did anything to these women. It's just they in the surveillance, it was found that they did other things that were against company policy and at the resort. But as you can see here, we saw these two victimized hot girl summer thought box women that decided to go on a girls trip. And we all know what happens on the girls trips. They're in the Bahamas. They wanted to get some BBC. They wanted to get piped down away from their small Midwest town and their boring husbands and their boring life. And of course, they went here to get blacked. And that's exactly, in my opinion, that's exactly what happened. And then, of course, they come back and spin a victim's narrative that all this happened to them. And I have no idea why. I rack my brain all the time in trying to figure out, why would a woman do something like this? Is it because they slept with?
Yeah, I literally, when I try to figure out why people do what they do, I get a headache. It's too much. You know what? Damn, it just came to me. It just came to me. They were trying to do a lawsuit. They were trying to sue the cruise line and the resort for an unsafe environment that they put them there, and everything. That's it. They wanted money. Wow. And they willing to throw two men, Islander men, under the bus, that they will be in jail for God knows how long. You see this? And mind you, they were so hard on their shit, the FBI was involved. Wow. I want to know what your charge is going to go against them two.
Them without using protection, and perhaps they could have caught something, so they're thinking we have to come up with a story about this, or perhaps they wanted to get money for a lawsuit. They regretted it the next day. These men, it wasn't as good as they thought. I don't know. I come across so many stories of women just lying on men, making up false allegations of rape. And this is very serious because there are real women that have gone through this. There's women and men that have gone through this. And we are not going to keep believing these victims because hot boxes like these, absolute city girls like this, decide to go somewhere. And then, we have to bring in the racial component in this as well. These two white Midwest moms decided to go they're in this other country, in Bahamas, a poorer country, knowing that they have a higher economic status than these men, knowing them being two white moms, they're going to be believed. And again, you guys know I don't make everything about race, but this just shows the entitlement of the Western feminists and why men around the world cannot trust the Western feminists, cannot trust the Western woman, no matter what color she is.
Okay. Can I get the oh man, I need it big. Can't trust them. And when it comes down to them, when it comes down to what they talking about.
I don't wanna know if you burn my keep it on the low. Cause my heart is taking anymore. If you're creeping, please don't let it show. Oh baby, I don't wanna. I don't wanna. No.
This is her MO. If it suits her, if it's something that she can gain from making a false accusation on you, she is going to believe. All she has to do is shed a few crocodile tears, claim that you did something, and then you will be charged. You will be fired. You will be arrested. You will have your life ruined, your reputation ruined. They just so happen to actually have surveillance footage. Imagine how many men have been locked up, falsely accused, and things have happened to them. They've been imprisoned. And because there is no footage, they just believe the word of this woman. And because she's a woman, well, of course, she must be a victim. How many times does this have to happen before we actually change the laws, before we actually have to have evidence? They will keep, usually these women came forward, but normally the victim's name will be held private even after she's found to be lying.
Yo, and she's gonna go into something for you college students that you need to be aware of. Yo, get yourself together, make your paper, and get the hell out of here. I mean, leave the country. Do not deal with this Western country here. I'm telling you. Called by Voyage. Okay, because she about to go into some joint about colleges that you could go ahead and have consensual sex, and a girl has up to 7 days to say, you know what, I didn't like that. I don't think that it was consensual. Press charges on you. Bruh, throw this place away.
She's still seen as a victim while the man's name and face and likeness is blasted all over the place. And just we know that accusation alone will crucify him and destroy his life. I don't know how any man in the world is still dealing with a Western woman.
Here's a timeline according to their footage. The girls entered the property at 8:17 in the morning. They were greeted by staff at 8:24. Then at 9:40, one of the girls met with one of the guys who's being accused. Then at 10:06, you can see them, looks like they're walking arm in arm with these two guys. They were headed towards the western side of the beach where the alleged incident took place. Now check out this video and then listen to what they have to say about it.
Refused to let us see a U.S. physician or a carnival physician.
Refused to let us have a rape kit done immediately. Made us go to the bathroom.
Guys, they wouldn't even give us a rape kit after we had been raped. They refused. They made us go to.
They look like they're making it up as they go along. Like what should the other one goes in and the other one emphasizes. I gotta emphasize, I'm a victim. These are two Karens, sir. Two Karens.
The bathroom and used toilet tissue, and they collected toilet tissue as their specimens.
And then they did an alcohol test on us like we were just super drunk. We had hardly any alcohol in our system at all.
Well, the resort says that their EMS offered medical assistance to both of the girls, but they declined and even signed a waiver. And then they left for the cruise ship in a private vehicle. But knowing the gravity of the incident, their officers boarded the cruise ship, providing an SA kit and hospital form to the ship's medical doctor. So that's completely different than what the girls are saying. And just to throw in there, there is now a GoFundMe with a $10,000 goal. Apparently it's to help raise money for medications that they need that help prevent certain diseases.
So there you have it. The modern Western feminist woman, which generally most of the Western women today are indoctrinated with some level of feminism. It is a sliding scale. Okay. It is a scale. Not every woman is at the same level of feminism, but there is this indoctrination. When it suits them, they will use their tears to hurt a man. They will use their tears to save themselves. I have countless number of stories that are out there that I have done research on. I have highlighted a few on my channel, even talking about Matt Ariza and several other even celebrity type of men that this has happened to. No man is safe. When the Western woman is something that she wants, she's going to do whatever it takes to get it from you. And now they're even having laws now where they're on campuses, some campuses that they're promoting that if a woman can actually withdraw consent. So if she's, I think up to a week that she has to withdraw consent. So that if you sleep with her and she decides, well, I didn't like how it went. I didn't like the way he treated me. He didn't kiss my butt afterwards, blah, 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 whatever. She just changes her mind. She can now withdraw consent, even if consent was given at the time, even if there was a witness to consent. And then you can then be charged. You can then be kicked off of campus.
Get passport heavy, gentlemen. Shoot, get your money right. Get to be an international that you can go anywhere you want, have your business online, make it where your business is making money. You can go anywhere you want and operate from anywhere in the world and get away from this place. Oh my God, please.
This is how crazy and antagonistic this world has gotten towards men. And while there are stories like this where women have really been victimized, it is sad that they promoted these women without having strong evidence that something happened. They allowed these women to just tell their story without any evidence, any type of investigation being done. They were just allowed, they called the news stations to promote this and wanted to warn other women in case they're going and blah, blah, blah. And then now they wonder why men, you can't believe all women anymore because of women like this. Females like this, disgusting females that if they're lying, which it looks like the evidence is showing that they're lying, according to the Cruzes. Now, of course, the investigation has to finish, so we don't have the thing. But this alleged situation that happened, that they claim happened, now we're seeing that not only the cruise line, but the Bahamian professionals, the authorities there are saying that they're lying, that they're making this up, that the evidence shows something completely different than their timeline. And we know if a woman has been getting bussed down by BBC in one of these countries, she just has to come home and face the consequences of her sins, face the consequences of what she's done. It could be that she caught a disease. It could be her own conscience, whatever it is, but somehow she has to be a victim. And of course, some poor simp is going to believe that she was, whether there's evidence of it or not. So guys, I'm really upset about stories like this because I know women personally this happened to my mother at 14. And so I'm an advocate for, against SA and all of that, against men and women and especially children. But when we see these stories come out like this, it does nothing but hurt people, and it does nothing but hurt men further and demonize men when a lot of times the perpetrators of these crimes are actually women. All right, guys, leave a comment below. And
Man, listen. Well, I tell you, I did a video. I did a video not too long ago on this, on what's going on, and it ain't pretty. And I mean, let me see if I can let's see if this is a video right here. Maybe this is it. If you don't think that this subject is enough to leave America, get your stuff together and live a good life somewhere else. Maybe this will help change your mind.
You didn't go and get the jab, but somebody who you fucked had the jab, then it is transmitted inside of you. But let's get into this video.
Right.
Listen.
It's your boy, Dr. Lewis here, bringing our next series to you. If you follow the videos, remember I was speaking about trying to prove the transmission of a vaccinated person having sex with an unvaccinated person, and the unvaccinated person starts to experience side effect. And when we take a sample of the unvaccinated person blood, it's actually looking like a vaccinated person blood. So we're just going to actually prove that today with our data. As you can see here, the blood is looking like a vaccinated person blood, whereby we've seen all the fermentation behind the plasma of the blood. And also in some samples before, we was actually seeing the discoloration of the blood as well too, as we could see here. An unresponsive immune system. We are not seeing much white blood cells present and working for him. And then we saw some candida. There was, as you can see, we see the blood here. There was some parts in the sample where we were seeing mass level of candida. And when we started to see that amount of candida, mean that the white blood cells is unresponsive for a period of time. This is one of my patients. He was with me for a while, about 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. So we have a good idea how his health is. So when he started experiencing discomfort and the way that he was feeling, we decided to run some tests. And we see in the course here to why he's feeling how he's feeling. And when we look back on it with the blood work, and when he started to feel like that is after having sexual intercourse with a vaccinated person. So yes, we finally proved that it can spread through sexual intercourse.
You once knew no longer exists, and there is no going back. We live in a post-gender society totally based on the hypergamy of outward appearance, where substance and depth only exist as a shadow cast by postmodern victory. This is why social classism has replaced the once traditional yearning for community, shifting our gaze to treating others under the lens of upgradability instead of romanticism. This is why the vast majority of people get status confused with actual happiness, and why a whopping 85% of Gen Z do not want to get married. Even for the transitory generation before them, the millennials, for the 40% who did choose to marry, and the half of those in that very percentage who haven't divorced, they must live inside a time capsule and alienate themselves from the inevitable social changes that only continues to unfold. Even the conservative types who acknowledge the paradigm shift that desire to prolong the good old days have to go off the grid for the fantasy. A lot of you will hate me for saying this, but the world your parents live in, that the GOP so adamantly defends and controls you with, is dead. Our young people are in a purposeless society, and calling others who recognize reality for what it is doomers is just another form of denial and coping. It's not like we like the data at hand, but can we just face the fucking music already? In this day and age, a girl has over 25 bodies under her belt before she can legally buy a drink. The reality is that for those of us today who still care about preserving all that is good and protecting the innocent, we have to adapt to the changing times without falling in line. Encouraging others to just keep up with the Joneses and hope things will work out in a system dependent on divorce, bipartisan politics, and the denial of genetic realism is not going to change anything. Only time will tell which direction our culture will veer towards. But until then, get fit, be adaptive, and stop living in the past.
Oh yeah. Get fit and adaptive and get the hell up out of here, or stay and deal with stuff like this.
Black women are just bitter, and Black women are just mad because they're dating white women, and when white women are easier to deal with and Black women are difficult. And in reality, Black women don't even care. Like, it's
we
like,
don't give a fuck. Like, we literally do not care.
We want someone that wants us back.
Period.
And if it's not going to be Black men, that's why all the Black women are starting to date white men.
Period.
And they say, let me know if it's true, because I haven't. I feel like a lot of Black women say, like, I am treated at such a higher standard,
yeah,
than when I've dated Black men, and that and they're like, I'm not going back.
And there's the Black woman's problem in a nutshell. You don't give a fuck. And not only do the Black men see it, but the whole world sees it. You're disagreeable, you're argumentative, you lack feminine qualities, and majority of the time, you bring another man's seed into the equation. 4 out of 5 of you are obese or overweight. 50% of you are walking around with an STD, whether that's herpes or some other STD.
Facts.
These are the numbers. So it's not that we don't want you. You're making it very hard for us to choose you and settle down with you and be with you. And if you think you can run away from accountability by being a divester, you're going to get a wake-up call. You're going to get your feelings hurt.
Yep. You're going to get your feelings hurt. And to my men, do as I tell you. Get up out of here. Explore the world. Be an international type individual. That's the only way to escape the tyranny. You already know. You can look on the news and see what countries are good to be, or you can travel there and find out for yourself. So by all means, remember. Just remember.
My friend, you see, you and me, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, my friend. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, my friend. I promise you. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, my friend. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, my friend. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, my friend. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, my friend. We're gonna make it. We're going to make it, my friend. We're gonna make it through.
Guess, that's it. Quite a ride, huh?
Oh, well, it was nice while it lasted, right?
It was nice while it lasted.